figuring out how to mulligan because it's so different than any other game and so dependent on a lot of your games and your matchups. If you mulligan for the wrong one, like against Warlock, if you mulligan for Handlock or you mulligan for Zoo and you pick wrong, you could lose.
Yeah, these guys going to mulligan wrong? I don't think they are because they're professional players, but we're going to find out because game number 3, Purple and Kaldi, is getting underway.
Purple actually going to go really aggressive, and we've seen this from him a lot with his Argent Squire here in his Hunter decks.
Yeah, really kind of focused, I think, on getting a little bit favorable trades in the early game in some of the mirror match scenarios, but the fact that he's ran this deck into Druid, this is a problem for Druid very often, is if they can't handle the early pressure, they just fall so far behind that they have no way to recover.
Yeah, Kaldi's opening hand, not great, but he does have a Keeper of the Grove that he could just, mulligan to try, mulligan the other cards to try to get something like Wild Growth or Innovate and get out to a big start, because if you can get an early win against Purple, against the Hunter deck, it could be really good.
He's actually going to pitch away the Keeper of the Grove, too. He's very much in search, I think, of Wild Growth and Innovate to get the ball rolling here. Finds himself with an Innovate and a Piloted Shredder, so maybe that's going to be good enough. But Purple, he's got a Freezing Trap in his hand, so he can really easily set this off. And what a hand from Purple.
Yeah, he's got a Glaive Zuka to follow behind this if he wants, and he's already got Knife Juggler plus Unleash the Hounds. We can see some giant turns.
Yeah, now that he's picked up the Sludge Belcher, he's definitely going to wait to try to innovate that one out. Such a good card.
That card is a nightmare for most Hunter decks.
Such a good card versus Hunter. They have to invest so much damage into it, and oftentimes very inefficiently so.
Yeah, you can see Purple maybe just develop this Knife Juggler, but I got to believe he's going to get at least one of these weapons into play since he drew a second one.
Yeah, I think starting to swing with the weapons early on is important. Plus, he has Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hounds. This is often a combo you want to keep in your hand.
Yeah, sometimes you want to keep this and hold this back. Ooh, that Keeper of the Grove showing up here. It's going to be pretty good next turn, and this Harrison Jones is going to get some value here for Kaldi.
Is shutting off a Glaive Zuka, but I think Purple's okay with this, given that he has the Eagle Horn bow in his hand. Gonna start pushing for some damage here, but is it going to be enough? Kaldi's got a lot to start offsetting this, and Purple's drawing a lot of weapons at this point.
Yeah, so far his draws is not really working out that great for him, but going forward, he still has a lot of tools to really fight with here. But you're going to see Kaldi really put him in a bad spot here.
Yeah, the heat is about to start turning up. Keeper of the Grove putting a pretty good swing on this board, and Purple clearly unhappy with it.
I love the way Kaldi's played this here. Very aggressive with this early Harrison Jones, and then he's going to scale into Sludge Belcher, after this Keeper of the Grove. Unbelievable start here from Kaldi. Great draw.
Freezing Trap going to help to set this off. Yeah, I'm actually curious if something like Freezing Trap, swing with the bow, and set the other bow might have been a good way to go about this. Wants to be getting in hero powers to help fight against the way Taunt's going down. Sludge Belcher going to throw a big wrench into things now, and he's under a lot of pressure. I mean, Kaldi's got a 5-power minion and a Sludge Belcher out right now. So how does he actually fight against this pressure? He's going to start with Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hounds.
Yeah, it starts with Knife Juggler and Unleash the Hounds, and he's got to get pretty lucky on these juggles. He's going to get to play an Argent Squire this turn as well. If he gets 2 of these into the Sludge Belcher, he gets to take off the front half of it. So that's what he's really looking for here. Or he's going to be able to Abusive Sergeant. I'm sorry, I said Argent Squire, but I meant the Abusive Sergeant.
He's going to be able to take out this front half of the Sludge Belcher, but again, he's staring at a 5-2 Harrison Jones, and Kaldi, he's got a Keeper of the Grove in his hand. He's going into 6 mana. This looks like a clean turn from him. He can even swipe here if he wanted to.
Yeah, it just depends on how aggressive or how defensive Kaldi wants to be from here. He is at 19. There are big turns that can come out of Purple's decks, but as you see, his hand, not great moving forward. So this extra Eagle Horn bow that's not going to be doing a ton of work for him, and you're going to see him get to weave in this Wild Growth as well, so he's getting to that Cenarius turn 1 turn quicker.
Yeah, Purple really under a lot of pressure here. I mean, he's only got a couple turns to really get something done here. And Argent Squire, Eagle Horn bow to the face, and hero power. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch back up in this game. Kaldi's got everything on his side of the board. Falls down to 14, but he's got to feel safe facing down 1 card in Purple's hand.
And Kaldi's actually got 12 damage here right now. He's 1 short of lethal this turn with this first major ever.
I think Lotheb's going to completely shut this game out. I mean, what can Purple draw to stay in this game?
I don't think he has a draw anymore to stay in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take 6 points of damage here, and then looking at Force of Nature, just lethal next turn. I mean, if he draws Explosive Trap, even that won't save him. Kaldi can pop the trap and then Force of Nature afterwards. So needing something massive here, and I don't know if it's there. Mad Scientist is not it. And Purple's going to drop game number 2 and very quickly. Both of these guys playing their turns so fast.
Yeah, I love seeing this from these 2 guys. They know what's going on. They're playing super fast. It makes it a little rougher on us, but
that's what we're here for, is to try to keep up with the pace of the game, but just no action from him. And Kaldi, just, for the man who has everything, here's a Savage Word, a couple with your Force of Nature. Purple, no way to win this one, and Kaldi's taking a 2-1 lead now, very decisive fashion. Purple came out of the gate swinging early, but Kaldi had Harrison Jones and then Keeper of the Grove to fight off this pressure. Those early swing turns made all the difference in the world.
Yeah, Harrison Jones is pretty good against weapons, I hear, and Purple had a lot of them, and Kaldi had a very early Harrison that was unbelievable in that game.
And Sludge Belcher just one it added so much pressure to the board. Purple had to chew through 7 points of damage.
Yeah, he needed that Iron Beak Owl a little bit earlier.
Yeah, Iron Beak Owl, I think, would have been able to maybe keep him in that game, but still just a lot of pressure fighting off. You know, the 5 power from Harrison Jones really making a big difference in that game. He just kept swinging turn after turn and no way to check it. If you guys want to see exactly how this game panned out, head over to pvplive.net and check out the recap for yourself. The stats breakdowns are there, exactly how Kaldi was able to put this pressure on Purple and make sure he ended this game before Purple was able to find the damage. So when we come back, these guys are making changes to their decks right now, but game 4 is going to have to be getting underway. Kaldi, he's on match point for 2 straight, and Purple, if he's going to win, he needs to win 2 straight. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching Hearthstone on PvP Live.
Couple of bottles, yeah, that's a fun night. Ha, yeah, we are one. When the club shuts down, nah, we ain't done. You can tell by the